Right, welcome everyone to what is the first in a series of webinars covering job opportunities in the Kingswood and Bristol region. As the Member of Parliament for Kingswood, myself, Chris Skidmore, I previously held local jobs fairs to try and help local people find opportunities for work. I've been ably assisted by Kingswood Job Centre Plus in Kingswood over the past decade in these jobs fairs. Now, obviously we are in extraordinary circumstances in the global COVID pandemic, which means that we're not able to offer the jobs fairs in the same way we were in the past. So what we've decided to do is to host a series of what I'm calling not podcasts, but jobcasts, allowing people to speak directly to various sectors that might have jobs available in the future. And so this is the first in a series, and today we're going to be focusing on opportunities in the retail sector. And we have two companies with us today. I'm incredibly grateful to be joined by Sam Tanner, who is the people partner for the East Bristol region for Tesco, and also Peter Fellows, who is the people business partner for ASDA, again, for a large part of the Bristol region. Now, they'll be speaking individually about the opportunities that they have in their own companies that will be coming up in the near future, also how to look at how to apply for these opportunities. But I'm joined first by Lesley Gavin, who is the partnership manager for the South Gloucestershire region for the Job Centre Plus network. And Lesley is going to talk about some of the wider opportunities when it comes to looking for work. I know these are anxious times for many people, that the pandemic has meant that many companies may see a rapid turnover in jobs. And we want to make sure that people are aware of what to do if they find themselves either redundant or looking for work in the near future. We'll be taking questions later on after the presentation. So if you have any issues, please do type away at the bottom of your screen. We'll pick them up and we'll put them to the panelists to be able to answer. And we'll be putting this session up on Facebook and elsewhere so that people can watch this back rather than just seeing it live. So if I can first turn to Lesley Gavin, it'd be great to get an overview, Lesley, on what you think is best to do if you're thinking about looking for work in the near future, and what you think should be done in terms of those individuals getting in contact with the Job Centre Plus network, and where opportunities may lie over the next couple of weeks. So Lesley, I'm going to hand over to you before turning then to Sam and Peter.
Okay, thank you, Chris, and thank you for letting me join today. So DWP has a really important role to play in helping the country recover by getting people back into work quickly and effectively. So getting people into work is what we do, and to meet the challenges ahead, the government are giving us more support and tools to do just that. And as part of the plan for jobs that was announced on the 8th of July, we've got an extra 13,500 work coaches nationally joining our network. We've got an increase in the flexible support fund that's available. We're going to have 40,000 extra sector-based work academy placements, and the introduction of the new Kickstart job creation scheme that is launching in November. We're now opening our job centres up to more people and reintroducing the claimant commitments so that we can provide more tailored support, local support that we know works. We're taking many steps to help support our customers into work. And so we've launched and streamlined a Find a Job website. So that's findajob.dwp.gov.uk. And there is a campaign page on that website. So that's jobhelp.campaign.gov.uk that I would encourage anybody listening to have a look at. So it's full of advice for job seekers. And there's also an employer site for those companies that are looking to support people and recruit them. So DWP is actually recruiting right now, and there are applications open for work coaches in some parts of the country already. So the Work and Pension Secretary is doubling Britain's work coaches to 27,000 nationally. and applications will be open to Kingswood residents for the local area actually from the 30th of September. And so I'd encourage listeners to go to civil service jobs to have a look at the current jobs available across the civil service. But those work coach vacancies will be available and going live from the 30th of September. So there'll be thousands of new work coaches being deployed to towns across the country to help get the best out of people and make sure that we've supported them to get back into work. They'll deliver those flagship programmes such as the £2 billion investment in the Kickstart scheme, a key part of the government's plan for jobs, which has put young people receiving benefits first in line for new high quality 6-month roles provided by employers from all sectors. The actual placements give individuals a wage for the duration and the chance to build experience and professional networks. We've increased the support for 40,000 job seekers across the country of all ages, and they'll be available through the DWP's sector-based work academy placements, which have received a £17 million funding boost. So that'll be great opportunities for all age groups, and will help people to learn new skills through a mixture of work experience and training. So work coaches will be able to offer vital retraining to people looking to start a new career and to support those who need to update their skills and CV or simply prepare for an interview. So our work coaches not only deliver financial support to millions across the country, but take time to listen, encourage, advise and ensure everyone has access to the best support available, helping those facing a really tough time get back on their feet sooner. So you mentioned how can you receive support if you're unemployed and you need to look for work and you need financial assistance. You go to gov.uk and type in Universal Credit. There is also the Universal Credit Helpline, which is 0800 328 5644. So as well as increasing the number of work coaches, we've got the Kickstart Job Creation Scheme. So that's a 6-month paid work placement opportunity available to 16 to 24-year-olds who are receiving universal credit and deemed to be at risk of long-term unemployment. Funding will cover the national minimum wage for 25 hours a week. We're going to have an expanded youth offer, so intensive support offered to young job seekers. We're going to have the expansion of the Work and Health programme. So there's something called the Job Entry Targeted Support Scheme, which will be voluntary support for customers that have been claiming for at least 3 months. It's very light touch, so anybody who's able to job search themselves won't need to join that scheme, but for those that feel they need a bit of extra support, but you will need to be claiming for at least 6 months. There's increased flexible support funds, so we've been given an extra 150 million to provide local support included in our rapid response service for those being made redundant, and that will provide extra help, perhaps if individuals feel they need to be retrained. There's the job finding support service, so funding is available for this service. We've got the sector-based work academy programme for all age groups. So this is an opportunity to learn new skills, get experience of working in a particular industry like care, construction or warehouse. And that programme is designed to help job seekers who are claiming universal credit, job seekers allowance or employment and support allowance to build their confidence, improve their job prospects, enhance their CVs. That opportunity can last for up to 6 weeks and consists of 3 parts. So you've got pre-employment training, a short module of vocational training provided by a local college or training provider. There may be some work experience or a virtual tour of a particular industry. It can help you to learn new skills on the job. And at the end of the programme, there'll either be a job interview with an employer within a specific sector, or if an interview cannot be offered, then you'll receive assistance with the application process. Individuals will continue to receive their benefits while they take part in a sector-based work academy. And if you need assistance with travelling to the employer's place of work or to attend training, we can provide assistance with travel costs or childcare. The programme is designed to help improve job prospects, help fill jobs, and there will always be a genuine vacancy available related to all those opportunities. We've also got the Job Help website that I would encourage listeners to have a look at. So again, that's Job Help, and if they go to jobhelp.campaign.gov.uk, all the information I'm talking about today can be found on the gov.uk website. So we've introduced a number of new websites. So the Job Help site is a new dedicated website for job seekers. It's got articles, tips and guides to help users identify good sectors to look for jobs in right now, as well as helping them to demonstrate transferable skills and make successful applications. It also directs you through to the government's job matching scheme called Find a Job, serving as a one-stop shop for job seeking advice. There's advice on how to deal with remote interviews. We're well aware that there are new recruitment methods due to the COVID situation, and so we've responded to that to ensure that job seekers know how to deal with those changes. With Find a Job, it's government's free-to-use job matching service. So in response to the COVID-19 crisis, DWP has worked to boost the number of vacancies on this site and promote key sectors that are recruiting to meet the challenges. More than 145,000 private and public sector employers, large and small, have registered, and the service is open to employers and recruitment agencies who recruit on their behalf. Job centres also promote the Indeed website, indeed.co.uk. So encourage listeners to have a look at local vacancies there too. I'd also like to promote our own Job Centre Plus Twitter accounts. So currently we have two that would be of particular interest to Kingswood residents, and that's at JCP in Bristol and at JCP in Bath. Now, both those Twitter accounts are merging on the 12th of October to become at JCP in BRS_Bath. So since June, our social media team have been working in partnership with Bristol, Bath and North East Somerset, South Gloucestershire and North Somerset Council. We've replaced physical jobs fairs, putting it all online through our Twitter account. So on Tuesday of this week, we had our second very successful virtual jobs fair, #West of England Jobs Fair. We had over 70 employers and partners sharing their current vacancies, providing advice and interacting with job seekers online. If you search the hashtag on Twitter, #West of England Jobs Fair, you can access the vacancies and see everything that was shared at that fair. So our Twitter accounts, they run 7 days a week, 8 AM to 8 PM, and we're live and able to respond to customer queries between 9 in the morning and 5 PM Monday to Friday. We share jobs, events, job search and careers advice for the Bristol area. On average, through our Bristol Twitter account, we'll tweet 20 to 23 tweets a day. We have approximately 18 or 19 job vacancies, and others are around employment advice. You can Google our feed by searching at JCP in Bristol without even having a Twitter account to see vacancies, but we would recommend you signing up to the Twitter account for the full interactive service. If customers follow us, then our tweets will appear in their feed, and they can also search our profile page and scroll through our tweets at a time that is convenient to them. A hashtag search is a good way to look at tweets on certain topics, like #BristolJobs. And we localise the hashtags so that customers can look for work in specific areas, like #Kingswood. So that's everything from me.
Excellent. Well, Lesley, thank you so much for that really sort of comprehensive overview of what there is available, both in terms of job vacancies, but also some of those processes that are needed for those maybe looking for work or maybe the confidence to be able to apply. And I'm sure we'll come back to that in questions later. But what I'll now do is I'll turn to Sam Tanner from Tesco, if that's okay, Sam. if you're able to set out what your company is potentially offering, or in the future maybe thinking about sort of future vacancies that may become available. For those interested in a job or a career at Tesco, we'd love to be able to hear how they should go about looking into that, and what you feel they need to do to best prepare themselves for those potential opportunities in the future. So over to you, Sam.
Lovely, fantastic, Chris. I just want to say, really happy to be part of this programme today, and sort of kick-starting sort of job hunting for anybody in Bristol. So I just want to start off with an overview of Tesco and the kind of people that we're looking for. So as people probably know, we are a leading supermarket chain, and we have over 3,400 stores across the UK, and we currently employ just over 300,000 colleagues across our business. We have jobs ranging from delivery drivers, warehouse operatives, and we'll shortly be starting our festive recruitment campaign, which will kick off at the beginning of October. There will be POS scattered all around our stores, telling people how to apply, which I'll go to the websites at the end. We'll be doing a media campaign showing people how to apply, and that will be specific to stores across the Bristol region. That will be our large stores and also our express stores as well, not forgetting our one-stops that we have a scattering around the Bristol area. We try to keep our customers at the heart of everything we do in Tesco, so we're always looking for friendly, enthusiastic people to join our team. I've been with Tesco for 23 years now, and my enthusiasm hasn't waned over those 23 years. I still love my job as much as I did when I joined back in 1997. I'm a little bit grayer, but it's still a different job, but absolutely advocate retail way of life. So in your job, you could be chatting to a customer on checkout 1 minute, and the next minute you could be helping a customer on the shop floor that they could have with a product query. One thing is for definite, you are constantly interacting and working with others. So whether it's other colleagues on the shop floor, or it could be customers that come through our door on a daily basis. We strongly promote a really good work-life balance in Tesco for our colleagues, and their well-being is really important to us. And through COVID, we've partnered with 2 external companies, one called Headspace and one called Silver Cloud, to help with people's mental health and to help them through any difficult times that they may be experiencing themselves on an emotional and personal level. So, we've signed our colleagues up to 1 year's free access to all those apps, and that's our commitment to our colleagues. Our job opportunities are really varied in Tesco. We go from fixed shift to flexible working arrangements, but we're always looking to get the right balance for everyone that comes through our door. So we're working with that colleague to get the job that suits them and our business and fits their outside life, which is really important. Diversity and inclusion is extremely important to us, and we have a strap line that says everyone is welcome at Tesco, and we have a number of networks within our business that colleagues can sign up to. So we have LGBTQT+, we have the BAME network, we have Armed Forces network, and we have a disabilities network as well, and also, but not least, Women at Tesco. We want to create a workplace where every single colleague is given the same opportunity. As a colleague in Tesco, one of the main benefits that you'll receive is a 10% colleague discount card off the majority of your shopping after completing 12 weeks work with us. And that also goes across One Stop and Tesco Cafe. You can get that discount. We also have many deals and discounts which you can take advantage of when you start working for us. We also offer several different apprenticeship schemes. So we have an LGV apprenticeship, and our local depot is Avonmouth. So we offer colleagues the opportunity, whilst working for us in our stores, to go in and achieve an LGV qualification with the aim of going then to be a delivery driver for us. And then that has a bigger earnings potential for that colleague. And we can help them get through the apprenticeship and then get their LGV license. That's a huge thing that we've invested in as a company. We also take part in a retail apprenticeship. So colleagues can sign up to a retail apprenticeship. It's run by one of our partners, and then we access and allow our colleagues to take time out of their working day, to concentrate on their apprenticeship and gain an accredited known qualification that they can then take to another company if they so wish. As Lesley quite eloquently said before, we have signed up to the Kickstart scheme, which I'm really excited about. We have identified a number of stores within the Bristol region that would like to take part and will be taking part in that scheme with the Job Centre Plus. But at this moment, it is very high level, so we're waiting for the minute details to come down around that. So watch this space. So I guess my sort of parting statement would be, if you're keen to learn new skills, build your retail knowledge, have a passion about delivering excellent customer service, and want to work as part of an exciting team, then Tesco could be for you. So we do have a range of jobs at the moment in our local area, in Yate Extra, in Keynsham Superstore, in Eastville Extra. We have varied temporary roles at the moment and some permanent roles. Most of those roles are mainly around our .com operation, which, as you can imagine, throughout COVID has grown exponentially. So our online business has taken off massively, and we are always looking for great colleagues to join us, whether it's driving one of our .com vans to customers' houses, or whether to be part of our picking operation and to pick those quality products for our customers before they go out to be delivered in the vans. So all our vacancies are online at www.tesco.com/careers. And that's it from me.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Sam, again for that presentation, setting out sort of opportunities. And obviously, as you mentioned, the festive recruitment drive will be starting shortly, and I know that's always a great opportunity for people locally, you know, looking for seasonal work, and the jobs then are available. You mentioned the Kickstart scheme, and I'm really keen, obviously, local MP, to be able to help support this. As you say, details are still emerging on the final format of the scheme, but we'll actually be holding a separate webinar jobcast on Kickstart. So yeah, as soon as we have news of the opportunities that then can be applied regionally, we'll hopefully be looking at that in further depth. I'm now going to turn to our final speaker, our final panelist for the session, Peter Fellows, who is the People Business Partner for ASDA for our region. So Peter, you've been patiently waiting. If I can hand over to you now for an overview of what opportunities there are working for ASDA, and potentially jobs that might be available in the future.
Okay, thanks Chris, and thank you for the time to come and talk to you today. I'm sat here adorned with rainbows because we're celebrating Bristol Pride in all our stores this weekend. And I guess that's a great point to, a great place to start off with. Similar to what Sam says, one of our key things in ASDA is our diverse workforce, and we're very, very proud of that. And if someone was to say to me, you know, what is a great ASDA colleague, what makes a great ASDA, there is no right answer, because we don't see people from their background or their colour or their age. We're really just looking for candidates with the right attitude, and then that attitude is one to succeed, and one to give great service to our customers every day. And we have a bit of a motto, which is we hire for attitude and we train for skill. So we say, you know, anyone with the right attitude, the right mindset, can bring a great deal of talent to our stores, and then we can train them for the skills that they will need to be great as a colleague. Like I said, we're looking for candidates that can come and give customers great service in the stores, and we're really proud of what we do in ASDA in terms of our colleagues, and how we, similar to Tesco's, how we've helped them through COVID. We've got a number of schemes where we have tried to support them. It has been a terribly tough time, and really our business has looked how we can be a business better for the future and really adapt. Similar to Tesco's again, e-commerce, so our home delivery operation, in the last 6 months has grown by about what we would have done in about 6 years, which has just been phenomenal. And I guess the one area where we are actively recruiting all the time is in our customer delivery drivers. Now, that brings a whole wealth of people that apply for those roles. And some people think it's just about driving, but it's really not. It's about people that can give our customers great service on their doorsteps, bring that ASDA personality to life, as we call it, and service with a smile. So I guess if there was one role we're actively looking for at the moment, across Bristol, we've got 6 big stores across Bristol. That would be our e-com customer delivery drivers. In terms of some of the benefits, we have a 10% discount scheme after 10 weeks. We run some extra discount schemes on the run up to Christmas, so that always helps our colleagues, sort of help them through Christmas. So we might do a week of 20% off George clothing. Quite often we'll run a 20% off everything in store in the run up to Christmas as well. And even if colleagues haven't had their 12-week service, we do offer that to any Christmas temps who take one in the run up to Christmas. We also have a whole suite of discounts available with various other companies across the UK. It's called our Everyone Benefits website. It's a really great tool that colleagues can tap into. They'll get a individual sign-on for, and they can get discounts on anything from airport parking to days out at theme parks, leisure centre discounts, gym membership, cinema tickets, things like that. So lots and lots of reasons to become an ASDA colleague. We supply full training to everyone, and we've got a great development scheme that we're very proud of. Most of our managers and our section leaders in our stores started once upon a time as a Christmas temp or as a part-time worker, and I think it's about 80% of our sort of store managers and our managers in our stores have started from a part-time role in the shops. And again, it's something we're really proud of, to build on our internal talent and develop that and bring people through it and really see them grow throughout the business. I guess I mentioned drivers, and that is one of our key areas at the moment, but additionally we will have a Christmas recruitment campaign coming up. I think Christmas this year could look potentially very different. So while we are still putting a few bits of the final jigsaw together, there will be some opportunities across the store, absolutely. And I guess how I would end it is just how we can see the business growing is not necessarily people stand on checkouts, people filling shelves. It is that e-commerce operation. So it is picking orders for our customers, delivering that to our customers' homes, and the roles that feed into those roles. I didn't realise Tesco had a depot in Avonmouth as well, but we do as well. So it's worth a call out there as well to our depot colleagues. I work in retail, but we do link in with the depot as well. And any vacancies would be on our website. So it's asda.jobs. That's all you need to search for. All of our vacancies will be on there, whether that's in store or in our depots. We have changed some of our recruitment ways a little bit during COVID, so it was interesting to hear the feedback about helping candidates with phone interviews, because that is something we are doing a little bit more of, rather than a big sort of group assessment, etc. in the store. We are doing a lot more sort of phone screening, so it's great to hear that some candidates have been given that little bit of support. But asda.jobs is the place to go, and everything is on there. There's some great videos on the website as well, worth a look, and that will just talk through some of our ASDA culture, ways of working, and all the opportunities that are out there for ASDA.
Well, thank you, Peter. Again, another comprehensive presentation. So we're open to questions. Any audience members want to ask anything, my assistant Becky's here. She might pick them up and read them out. But I thought I'd use my sort of presenter's privilege to ask a couple of initial questions to start with. Firstly, I just wanted to ask, if someone is looking at applying either to ASDA or Tesco or maybe another retail organisation, in terms of that recruitment process and the steps they need to take going forward, if they spot a job on some of the websites that you've mentioned, do they need already to have a pre-prepared CV in order to be able to upload. I think I'll be looking at doing another jobs cast on CV preparation. It'd be great to know what you're expecting them to have in advance. And I mean, Peter, you mentioned, and also Sam, about the sort of customer delivery opportunities with the boom in online business. What are the specific qualifications needed there? You know, you've got the driving license. That need to be a clean driving license? And in terms of then that face-to-face presentation, when you're looking to do interviews, are they simply over the telephone at the moment, or do you look to do Zoom interviews? It'd be great to get a sense of what that might involve, given this unusual situation with COVID pandemic. You can't always have those face-to-face interviews. So it'd be great to hear from you about what it looks like and how you apply.
Yeah. We don't ask for a CV. That is not something that we would necessarily look for. So just to answer that one, you would apply through the website. That would take you to an online form to fill out that would ask for a few bits about yourself and obviously your information. And then there's a few questions on there just to help us understand a little bit more about what your sort of personality and your style is. It's nothing scary, it's nothing to worry about, but the questions are designed to help us choose the right people that will essentially give our customers fantastic service. So what I would say to candidates is, as they're filling out the online form, just be thinking about customers all the way, and then the answers that they need to give, obviously, if they're reflected in the customer experience, we'll get them through. In terms of drivers, no, you don't need to have a clean license. I think it's 4 points. Don't quote me, but you can go up to 4 points now. So that is something we would take into consideration, absolutely, because unfortunately not everybody has a clean license. So yeah, absolutely. And again, in terms of the interview process, we would have a chat on the phone to begin with, find out a little bit more. We try to ask some honest questions from day one, because you know, this time of year it's late till it's sort of light till about 8 o'clock at night. Weather's reasonably okay, but sort of 2 or 3 months time, when it's dark at 4 o'clock, it might be raining, you might be delivering to somewhere that you're not familiar with. It can be a totally different ball game. So we try to just be open and honest from the very beginning in terms of what the role's expectations are. We would then invite them into a socially distanced interview once they sort of had that initial telephone screening to understand them a little bit more and go from there.
You know, Sam, is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, so very, very similar to Peter. We're doing socially distanced interviews, whether they be on the telephone or the candidates coming into store. Yeah, we've got 3 points on your license. Again, don't quote me, but I believe that is the criteria for a .com delivery driver. And we also ask potential colleagues to do criminal record checks as well. So they will have to upload their information, and we do send off to an independent company to do a criminal record check, bearing in mind that they are going into people's homes. So on successful completion of all of that, we do a company induction. Again, at the moment that is being done online, so we'd send you the web links to do the induction. So it covers all the elements of health and safety, you know, introduction to Tesco, introduction to your job. And then you'd go out with an assessor to learn about driving a van, so we could assess whether, you know, you'd be competent and what extra sort of coaching you would need in order to drive a van on your own to deliver to customers. So yeah, the training is really comprehensive, and we will help you sort of every step of the way. I'm very similar to Peter in terms of the recruitment process. There is no CV as such, but we do sort of situational judgment sort of skills. And again, very similar to Peter, so to sort of gauge what kind of a person you are, sort of whether you're sort of introvert and extrovert, whether you like being with people, whether you like sort of working out the back, whether you're sort of a more manual person, or whether you like sort of, you know, complex analytical things, so you're sort of more sort of deemed towards the cash office or sort of the front end duty, so we can tailor the right job to suit the right person.
Excellent. Well, no questions yet, so what I might do is just ask another question, if that was all right, which is around one of the key issues that have been thrown up by the pandemic, which is around job flexibility. We found sort of, you know, many people now at the moment have to sort of look at how they can manage work-life balance, particularly around childcare and other issues with certain relatives having to shield. And so I wanted to ask, in terms of jobs and vacancies available for the future, what does it look like in terms of their flexible nature? Do you have to sign up for a sort of minimum number of hours in a week? How much is statutory in terms of what your expectations are, say for delivery drivers? What would they be signing up for? Or are there opportunities to help sort of shape, and work around other outstanding issues outside of their job? It would be great for listeners to know, if they are thinking of applying, what's the hourly sort of number of hours in a week, and what does that take place over?
Yeah, so shall I go first this time,
Yeah,
Peter?
Yeah. Go far away.
So in terms of the driver jobs, the minimum contracts that we offer is 16 hours a week, to make it worthwhile for the business and for the individual. And we are happy to flex people up. So in terms of, we call it an availability window. So your core contract would be your 16 hours, but then you'd say to us, actually, I'm available these hours and these days outside of my 16 hours. And then we would work with you on a 4-weekly rota basis to rota you into, depending on holidays, absences, to do those extra shifts. So that's how we do in Tesco, and we absolutely work with the colleagues. So back to your point around the sort of the pandemic, and when people were shielding, people had childcare issues when the schools were closed. We were really supportive with our colleagues. Everyone was paid during that time. And in terms of coming back, we had really sort of large hypercare calls with our colleagues to make sure that they were coming back at the right time. They had suitable care for their children, or if they were looking after an elderly parent or relative. And we would change their shifts if we needed to, or if they were feeling a bit anxious about working in a particular area of the store. We'd make sure we worked with that colleague, one, to get them back into work, so they felt, they had a sense of purpose, and two, the fact that they felt supported, they were working in the right area of the store until they felt happy and supported to go back to their normal job. So, we will work with anybody to do what's right for them, within our business.
Excellent. Peter, anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, they're very, very similar. Yeah, we would give a colleague a set full contract. Sometimes that could be same as Sam, as low as 16, up to sort of 38 hours. And yeah, it's about doing the right thing for the colleague, especially in these times, to try and be as flexible as we can be. I'm sat in Longwell Green Store today. The 60 customer delivery drivers work out of here. So one of the things that brings in that kind of scale is the flexibility for shift swaps, helping each other out, covering each other when need be. And we really do try and utilise and capitalise on that, so that people can, everyone has something. Sometimes short notice comes up, but they can talk to their colleagues and feel that they can be open and free to make changes, quite last minute if need be, and clearly within trying to keep the business running and keep our customers happy. So yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Well, we've come close now to the end of our time for this. What was a podcast is now a jobscast, and the contributions have been so comprehensive that we haven't had any sort of questions come from audience members on the back of what's been said so far. So I think it's probably time to wrap up. What I wanted to do was to offer all the participants a final opportunity. If you wanted to say anything, you don't have to, about what's been said today, about working in retail, any final sort of pushes you'd like to make. But just to say to audience members, thank you so much for watching today. And as I said, it will be placed online, both on Facebook and on YouTube, so this can be watched again. But maybe if I sort of work backwards and start with Peter, if there's anything you'd like to say in terms of final words?
I guess just one thing I didn't mention was around job security. I think it's fair to say that retail is a safe place to be. The work, every day we hear job losses in X, Y, and Z businesses, don't we? And we're sat here talking about recruitment, which in itself should sort of try to make that message that actually, whether it's ASDA, Tesco's or any other retailer, especially in a food business, it's what people need every day. So we're growing, we're expanding. It is definitely a job there for the future.
Thank you. Sam?
Yeah, again, echo what Peter just said. And particular online business is still growing. And I think sort of going into Christmas now, we will always need .com drivers. We will always need pickers to pick that shopping. So, in terms of a job for life, I wouldn't say job for life, but definite security in the food retail business. Just so thank you for inviting me on the call today, and I look forward to the next Kickstart one.
Excellent. Lesley, you've been patiently sat there after your fantastic opening remarks. Is there anything you'd like to say just as we close?
Just to encourage listeners to go to gov.uk and find a job. We know that in the media there's a lot of doom and gloom about the recession, but actually if you have a look there, I'm online now, and it shows there are nearly 2,000 jobs in the Bristol area. There are lots of jobs still out there, including in the retail sector. So it may be an opportunity for people to consider a different career path, and a reminder that the Job Centre is there to support you in the next move.
Excellent. Well,
thank you.
Thank you to all participants, to Peter, to Sam and Lesley for your time today. That concludes the first Jobs in Focus podcast, as I said, or Jobscast on retail. We'll be looking to do another podcast next week focusing on the care sector, and then also another one on the Kickstart scheme in particular. But for all those who've watched, I hope this has been informative. It's certainly been informative for me and my staff in looking at how we can help support constituents who are looking for work and looking for retail work in the future. As I said, this was the first of a series of podcasts on Jobs in Focus. I'm Chris Skidmore MP, and we're determined to make sure that if you are looking for work in the future, that we can help, and all the teams involved, both in retail, whether it's Tesco, ASDA, or Job Centre Plus, that they are here for you, as you can see from the responses today. So thank you so much for listening, and good luck in any job search you have for the future.